Hey everybody, this is Tracy here with another edition of A View from Tracy's Point. And we are here today to clarify some things about the Valencia Love situation. If you guys watched my video from yesterday, where I talk about R. Kelly's hearing yesterday, so then you know that there was an attorney who was in court by the name of John Collins, and he had filed a motion on behalf of Valencia Love requesting the $100,000 bond that she put up to get R. Kelly out of jail the first time he was arrested, that she now wants that money back. So before I go into the latest and greatest about this situation and why I believe that Valencia Love is now becoming problematic for this case, I want to first talk about bonds. And so there was a lot of confusion from the video. Some of it I created, okay, because I didn't realize that Illinois' bond system is different from most states. So here in Florida, if you get arrested and you're given a bond, then the 10% still applies, but the 10% goes to a bail's bondsman, whereas in Illinois, that 10% is paid directly to the court because Illinois doesn't have bail bondsmen. Then in Florida, the remaining money has to be secured by collateral. And so in this case, R. Kelly's bond was $1,000,000. Valencia Love paid the courts the $100,000 to get him out. And then that left $900,000 remaining on the bond. But I've done research. I've checked the internet trying to figure out what happens with that other $900,000 in the event that R. Kelly was to be released and fled the country. You know, not that we think that's going to happen, but just hypothetically, what happens to the $900,000 that's remaining on the bond? And I could not find anything. Okay, so I don't know if the 900, the remaining 90% of the bond is just symbolic. I don't know if there are measures to collect the money if the person doesn't uphold their end of the agreement. If Valencia Love, because she signed for the bond, would be responsible. I couldn't find anything that tells me what happens in the event that the conditions are not met. Now, here in Florida, when you pay that 10% to the bail's bondsman, you also have to put up collateral. So in that case, if somebody had a bond for $1,000,000, you paid the bail's bondsman the $100,000, and then that person didn't honor the agreement, the person that was arrested didn't honor the agreement, that bail's bondsman then collects on the collateral, and collateral could be somebody who owned their house. They put their house up for collateral. It could be cars. It could be stocks and bonds. It could be anything. But the bail's bondsman would then be able to go back and collect on that collateral to secure the debt that's owed to him, because he lost that money because the person did whatever. And then if you guys are familiar with the show Dog the Bounty Hunter with Dwayne, I can't think of Dwayne's last name, but the white guy, over tanned with the long straggly blonde hair. His wife Beth just passed away. Well, that show is based on people who skip out on their bonds, and then the bail's bondsmen hire them. They're called bounty hunters, and then they go and track down the person and bring the person back to the bail's bondsman so he can get his money or whatever, or make sure that the person goes to court so that he can get back whatever money he put down on the bail. So with that clarified, I put in the comments, talking to some of you on that video last night, Valencia Love paid R. Kelly, Valencia Love was repaid by R. Kelly that $100,000, and as a matter of fact, he gave her back $110,000 right after he was released. I think he was released like on the 25th or the 26th of February, and the cashier's check that he gave her was dated February 28th. And so people were saying, well, if he paid her back the money, then why is she in court trying to get the bond money back? You know, that money should belong to him now. And so we were thinking, okay, well, maybe she doesn't want to be responsible. Maybe she's thinking, okay, well, he's not getting out of jail. Why does this money need to sit there? I want the money back. She's trying to scam or whatever. So to give you guys a little history, a few months ago, there was these tweets that came out where she was being accused of signing on to be on a documentary. And in this documentary, she was supposed to be saying that her and R. Kelly had fell out of friends and that, you know, she wanted this money back or whatever. But she immediately responded to the person that posted this information and said that that was not true, that he had paid her money back, and that, you know, people need to stop lying on her, blah, blah, blah. And so that information was reposted last night, and there were actually posts from the person who was supposedly that started the whole rumors, because I guess there were text messages going back and forth between Valencia and this guy who was doing this documentary or reality show, whatever it was supposed to be, because Buku was also supposed to be on the show. And now I'm wondering if the person, if it was actually growing up hip hop that all of this was supposed to take place. Not sure. But anyway, Valencia was responding to those text messages. So we don't know if that was really her on the text messages that was saying to the guy that, you know, she was in agreement that she was going to be on this show, and that she just wanted to confirm that the amount of money he told her she was going to be paid was in fact the money that she was going to earn, you know, from being on the show. And so she, you know, continues to deny that that was the case, that she would never turn on Rob, that she is his friend, she's there to support him. So today it comes out that more text messages, you know, are being released where, you know, people are asking her, like, tell the truth. Why did you go to court and say that you wanted this money back? So now she's saying that that she sent the lawyer, so she's admitting that she was the one behind everything, and she did send the lawyer to request the money back, but she was actually requesting the money back for R. Kelly, not for herself, because he had actually already paid her back. And that the reason she was trying to get the money back was because it didn't make sense for the money to just be sitting there, and he needs the money to be able to pay attorneys. And I couldn't tell if she was trying to say he was trying to get a new attorney or he was trying to pay his current attorney. But then the bombshell was that she said that he knew that she was going to send that attorney in there to request that money back. And it was so funny because my friend Dottie had said from the Jump Street, did you notice that R. Kelly and Steve Greenberg did not seem surprised or put off that she was asking for this money back? And I was like, no, he was kind of like, you know, shaking his head or whatever. And when I went back and looked at the video, it's now making sense that they probably did know that she was going to come in there, which once again takes us back to Greenberg. And what is he doing? Like, why would he even be a part of something like this if he really did know that she was going to come in there? It just once again creating more problems where there don't need to be problems. And so she actually was interviewed by the Chicago Sun-Times, and she says that in this article it says Love could get her money back at the end of Kelly's criminal case in Cook County, but that could take years. And then, quote, she's worried she's in jeopardy of losing that money, Collins said in court. And it says, Love is also concerned the money could, at the conclusion of the case, be ordered by a judge to pay for Kelly's attorneys, Collins also said. Then it says, but reached later Tuesday, Love told the Chicago Sun-Times that's exactly what she wants to do. Kelly already had reimbursed her $100,000 just 3,000 days after he posted his bond. She said he wasn't able to get his money because it was the weekend and he was the only one who had access to the account. It was basically a loan, Love said. And Love says she wants the money returned so she could give it to R. Kelly's team to cover his legal costs and other expenses. Why is it such a big deal? He's already locked up, she said. Why can't the bail money be returned? And while Love wouldn't provide any details about the nature of her relationship with Kelly, she vehemently defended the embattled R&B star and called into question the nature of the allegations against him. At no point have I ever supported, she said. He has not been convicted yet. Why is it so bad that I did a favor for a friend? And then after the court hearing, Collins had said Love also helped Kelly out by paying about $50,000 in back child support and to spring the singer after he was briefly jailed for not paying the debt in March. Now, I knew they said that fans had paid the $50,000. I wasn't aware that she was the person that paid the $50,000. So that is something new that I'm just finding out. Oh, okay. And then the article goes on to say that Love, however, said that is one favor she did not do. So she's denying that she paid the $50,000 child support. Okay, I was just going to say, am I losing my mind here? And so, what else does this article? It says Kelly's attorney, Steve Greenberg, says it's premature to speculate on whether the bond money might ultimately go toward attorney fees, but he isn't angling for it. And he says, I can assure you that we're not working hoping that at the end of the case we're getting bond money, Greenberg said. And he said that yesterday during the press conference. He didn't directly answer whether attorneys representing Kelly are being paid, but said if Mr. Kelly reaches a point where he can't pay any lawyers to represent him, you'll see a public defender. Okay, so Steve, we thought you were in it for the long haul. So I guess if the money dry up, then you're going to be out with your team of lawyers, which is kind of shady there, especially since you're riding so hard for the man. So now we really, really got to keep our eye on Steve Greenberg. So guys, go ahead and check out these posts that were floating around on Twitter. And leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. Rate the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And until the next time, I shall talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.